Hi everyone. Okay. Hi Shantanu. I hope your preparation is going good. Good morning. So I'm Paarth Gupta and I'll be taking your DBMS classes. We have already discussed a lot on DBMS. So today's plan would be to finish off with the normalization part, and I'll discuss what all things we'll be discussing in this class and what all things we'll be discussing in the coming classes. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can post it in the comment section and then we can take up those questions. Okay. So let's finish off with this slide. So Unacademy also provides you with the subscription platform. You guys already know about it. So you have a 1 month subscription, 3 month subscription, 6 months, 12 months and 24-month subscription. The only subscription that seems viable to me is a 12-month subscription, but given a few constraints. The first constraint is that you should be very much aware of what you are going into. इसका मतलब if you are very much confident that you want to go into GATE, you should try for a 12-month subscription, given that you already don't have any subscription from any other platform, because it will be not that helpful then. Okay, so if you want to go with GATE and you want a structured program, then you can go for a 12 months program. The second thing is that you should be financially sound. Try to take this course if you are financially sound, or else there are a lot of free courses available, free lectures going on. Try to go on with them. Okay, so this course will cost you around 25,000 and you can take a 10% discount using a promo code, my promo code, which is PAARTH. Okay, and if some of your friends are taking the course, you can recommend my promo code for them to take. So this is it for it. If you guys have any questions pertaining to subscription, I still remember a few questions were posed on subscription a few weeks back, but I have not received from that person again. So I have the questions in hand and answers in hand. So if you want to have those answers, you can just ping me on LinkedIn. Okay, and apart from that, we also have Harshvardhan with us. Hi Harshvardhan. Yeah, let's move forward. So as you all know, we are already dealing with DBMS. Yeah, overview of the course. So we are already done with the models, we are already done with the relational algebra, and today we are going to finish off with the normalization part. Okay, now these parts are left. Out of these parts, we have already discussed a lot of things about SQL, and from next week onwards we'll be dealing with SQL and transaction management, transaction control flow. So these two things will go parallelly. I'll have questions from both of them, and I think next 4 to 6 classes will be finishing off with all of these. Okay, I think it will be 6 classes will be needed. So in 6 classes I'll try to finish off with all of this. That is, by the end of October we'll be done with all the DBMS questions. Okay, so this was it for the introduction. If you guys have any question, you guys can ask, or else we can move forward to the questions. I think I've covered the introduction part really quickly. Okay, I can see just 2 people here right now. That is very good for you guys. Just answer the question as soon as possible and then we'll move forward without waiting. Okay, yeah, so let's start with the easy question. And what I would suggest is, when you guys comment either A, B, C or D, just write a small explanation that why do you think that option is correct. That will help my time also, because then I don't have to solve the question, and it will help all the other students also if they are making some mistake. Okay, so sometimes what happens is that we think that option B is correct and we mark option B as correct, but the reason behind that is wrong. Okay, so reasoning is very important, because reasoning is the only thing that will make the concepts foundation strong. Okay, so we have Deepak also. So all the three people are very much good in DBMS now. So you guys can solve this question. It is an easy question. Just the explanation is needed. So we have A, B given C, A, B minus D. Okay, I can see people joining. All the new people who are joining, this is our first question. Please solve it properly and write the answers in the comment section. Okay, so Deepak says option B. Deepak, you just need to give the reasoning that why it is in third normal form and why not in BCNF. Okay, so Shantanu has also given it as 3NF. Harshvardhan, I hope you are solving the question. So these types of questions, so you can definitely expect one question to come of normalization straightforward in this manner. Okay, you'll be given functional dependencies, you have to find which normal form it is. This is for sure. One question in GATE exam is for sure from normalization. That is not going anywhere. Okay, I'll just give 10 more seconds to Harshvardhan to solve, and then we can move forward to the next question. Correct. So Deepak's explanation is correct why it is not in BCNF, and Harshvardhan's explanation is correct given that it's in 3NF. So we'll move forward to the next question. So this is a very easy question. Just a lot of people get confused when we say phi, so this is very much important for you guys. But I hope you guys are very much experienced to know what is phi here. Okay, and Harshvardhan is saying so no transitive dependency. Correct. I can see few more people joining in. Hi guys, you can solve this question. This is one of the easiest question that we will see today. So Deepak says option B. Option B is indeed correct. I hope Shantanu has solved the question and Harshvardhan has solved the question. So whenever you talk, so the thing that you always have to know is that whenever we find a closure of an attribute, it can never be phi. Okay, the closure of an attribute can never be phi, making option A and option C direct discarded. Okay, it is very much straightforward. So you were just left with two options where you don't have to calculate what is the closure of E. You just had to calculate whether the closure of A had a D in it or not. Okay, that is it. That was the only thing that you have to calculate. And if you see A is giving you B and B is giving you C, therefore with A you already have A, B and C. When you have A, B and C, you already had D in it. Okay, so option B was straightforward here. So we'll move forward to the next question. So the answer to this question we have already discussed, but I have added this question because when you are given a false statement to find, right, it always makes a confusion. Whenever you have a false statement to find, it always makes a confusion. So just mark the question very carefully. May I mark the option very carefully. Okay, we have Bhanu with us. So Bhanu is saying option A. Bhanu, what's the reason for you to say option A? You are pretty quick in it. Like, so in GATE exam, time matters and accuracy matters as well. Okay, so if you can be quick with an accurate answer, then that is a very deadly combination for GATE. A, because we should write some in place of every. No, Deepak, that's not correct. That's sorry. No, Shantanu, that's explanation is not correct. Harshvardhan says A because every binary relation is always BCNF. Harshvardhan's explanation is correct. Deepak says A, every relation is, so everyone is correct here. So let's start with A itself. So what's happening here is it says every binary relation is never in BCNF. Okay, whereas every binary relation is in BCNF. This would have been correct. So we have to find the false statement. Therefore, A is false here. Okay, so Shantanu, it's not some. According to your understanding, your statement correct would be some binary relation are in BCNF. Okay, so that statement will be false because every binary relation is in BCNF. Okay, just hear this statement and try to find out a binary relation that is not in BCNF. Okay, that will help you. Because BCNF having super key. Okay, other thing that I wanted you guys to know is that there is a term joint dependency here. Okay, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you would not have heard. Try to jot these terms down, and if you guys get some time, try to read about them. Okay, just have a look that what do you actually mean by joint dependencies. Sure, Shantanu, no problem. That is why I keep these questions again and again, because this is the question where a lot of if you don't know that every binary relation is in BCNF, you cannot prove this statement in an exam. Okay, you just have to know it. If you want to prove it right now. If you have any doubts, try to clear those doubts before exam, because if you are not clear that every binary relation is in BCNF, you cannot derive that in GATE exam. You cannot surely say that in GATE exam. It should be very much clear that it happens, then only you can move forward. Okay, so we'll move forward to the next question. So this is this is a question which is very confusing, try to solve it, take your time. I'll give you 3 + 1 minutes, solve this question. I can see sorry, I can see few more people here. If you have any other doubts, you guys can ask. If you have doubts pertaining to these questions, you can ask that as well. I think we are going really fast today. So what I'll do is, I won't be discussing this question in detail because this question has a lot of concepts in it, but I'll give you guys 3 minutes and then we'll discuss it in a very high level, and then you guys can, after this video is over, try to understand what this question asks about. Okay, this is not a very straightforward question, and if I solve this question or tell you the concepts, then it will be very difficult for you to understand the reasoning behind it. Okay. C is not correct. So okay, I'll give 2 more minutes and then I can tell you how to move in the direction, and then we can stop there. Then you can solve the question after this class is over, and we can obviously discuss this question on next Saturday or Sunday if you guys still have a problem. Okay, so yeah, D is correct. C or D, my confusion है, D is correct. Okay, so what happens here is that you have to find such BCNFs where these things are happening. Okay, so you can always find a BCNF. So you have solved so many questions, so you would have come across BCNF where there are 2 candidate keys. Okay, so this one is straightforward, so you can use BCNF here. So A is not correct. Similarly, 2 candidate keys and composite. So I have seen a question where candidate keys are A, B and BC. Okay, A, B and BC. Therefore, this is also not correct. Similarly, when you have A, B and BC, then the candidate keys overlap. Okay, then this is also not correct. But in the 4th case, it's very difficult to form. Okay, the 4th case is very difficult to form. That is why I wanted to tell that there is a proper reasoning behind it. Okay, so this question I found very interesting because I have not seen this question when I was preparing for GATE. But what I would suggest you guys is look at this question again. So this question can be easily obtained from internet. A is true, B is also true, D is not straightforward, looking like B. So here we are talking about foreign keys, right? So the concept change when we are talking about foreign keys. Okay, because BCNF talks about super keys in their functional dependencies, they don't about foreign key dependencies. That is why it makes this question very tricky. Whereas, as I say, A, B and C are very easy to understand because we have solved so many questions that you can find an example for each one of these options. Okay, That is why I wanted you guys to just go, after this video is over, try to solve and understand this question first. Bhanu mentioned that Bhanu mentioned something, confused in all options. Yes, so Bhanu, this question talks about that if you have two or more candidate keys, then can you use BCNF or not? Okay, so we have solved so many questions those have two or more candidate keys, and still we were solving the BCNF properties. This is what this question targets, that if you have two candidate keys and their composite, can you go for BCNF? If the candidate keys overlap, then you should go for BCNF, and similarly for foreign keys concepts. Okay, so this question has a lot of concepts, lot of hidden concepts. The more you solve, the more you read, the more concepts you'll get. Okay, try to solve this question. If any one of you face difficulty, just ping me on LinkedIn, and then we can pick this question again and solve this question with a great detail. Okay, but I want you guys to solve this question first because it is a good question. Okay, I think we should move forward to the next question. So this kind of questions are asked nowadays because this question is a mixture of theory and practically. Not complete question. The following table has two attributes where A is a primary key and C is a foreign key, referencing to A with on delete cascade. Oh yes, yes. So you need to delete something here. Okay, what we can do is just move to the next question and I'll tell you which term to delete. Okay, yeah, just solve this question. Solve this question and I will give you the tuple to delete for the previous one. So this was mentioned to me by some of the people that SQL questions are difficult. Yes, I have taken some difficult questions from SQL because in the GATE exam, if you talk about DBMS, tough questions come from SQL itself. Okay, so easy questions are very easy to solve and tough questions are tough to solve. But once you are able to understand what SQL is doing, right, then it will be very easy to solve these questions. I hope you guys are solving this question. I'm not well also. Option A is not correct, Shantanu. Try to solve this question again properly. Correlated query. For each tuple of outside table, inner table will be entirely checked. Answer is D. So approach कैसे करेंगे? Correct. So Deepak has a good question to ask. Let's give Shantanu 30 more seconds and then we can discuss the first answer and then the approach. Okay. Just 10 more seconds and then we can discuss. Okay, so the correct answer to this question is option D, and now we'll talk about approach and try to think about how we can solve this question. Okay, Deepak ध्यान से सुनना. So what we are doing is select title from book. Okay, so ये हमें जो बाहर की query है वो हमें बताती है that what we have to actually select. Okay, so actually in the output you will be getting title from book. Okay, so this is the table and this is the title, so it will be output will be the anything that will be from this column. Okay, अब वो करेंगे कैसे? That is coming from where? Okay, now this statement has to be true for that. Okay, now what we are doing here is select count star. We are counting something here. Okay, we are counting something here, but what we are counting here exactly is from book as T. Now book, there is one table already book which you have annotated by B, and now you have another table, same table book that you have annotated by T, but as mentioned by Harshvardhan, it is a correlated query. Okay, each tuple, so according to the correlated query, what happens is for each tuple here, okay, what is happening here? So when you say select title from a table, so what it happens is you iterate over each tuple one by one. For example, I say let me draw this. So this, consider this database as B, and similarly you have a database which is T now, but these databases are identical, it's just two copies of them. Okay, but when you say select title from B, then you have to go from each tuple, right? So you are at this tuple. What happens when you are at first tuple? You get inside this query. Okay, and inside this query you are doing again a select on this table T. Okay, so now for each tuple of B you have to iterate on each tuple of T. Now what you are calculating here is that T dot price. Now you go at T and then calculate T dot price, which will be present on this column, and you're comparing this T dot price with this B dot price. Okay, and what you are doing is you are counting them. Okay, now if this statement is valid, okay, if this statement is valid, then you are counting them. Okay, and you have a less than 5 operation here. So what would happen here is whenever this statement returns 0, whenever this statement returns 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, then only you will return the title of the book. Okay, first thing that we have to be very much clear that what is returned here is all the values that will be returned at 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, now what we have to think here is, what does 0 indicate? Okay, 0 will indicate that it is the most expensive book. Now how do we get to that? We get to that is that if this T dot price, consider a book at in table B which has the highest price. Okay, if it has the highest price, then this statement will never be true. Okay, just imagine, if you have the highest price book, then this statement will be never true, and if this statement is never true, then this count will return 0. Okay, that is, if this statement returns 0, then that indicates the expensive book. Okay, similarly, when it returns 1, it returns the second most expensive book, and so on. Okay, and therefore this has a 5 here, so you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. Therefore you will have the 5 most expensive books. Shantanu just made the mistake of 4 because I think he left 0 number in there. He just counted 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, so this was the question. I hope now it's clear. If you still have any doubts, you can comment, and then we can we can take it again. Or what we can do is, we'll go back here and then come back again. So the tuple that is deleted is 2, 4. If anyone is having any doubts in that question, we can again take up that question after this question. Okay, there is no problem in taking questions again, but here 2, 4 is deleted. Take your time. This question is somewhat confusing as well when you try to delete them on cascading. So Bhanu has given one answer. Harshvardhan has given the answer, foreign key जिसे रेफर करता है वो exist करना चाहिए. So everyone has given the option C as correct. So yes, indeed you think it's C and it is C only. Okay, so we'll give Shantanu some time to solve, and then we can briefly discuss what's happening here. So yeah, so what's happening here is, when 2, 4 gets deleted, A is a primary key, C is a foreign key. Okay, so A was a primary key with value 2, so primary key only can have a value once, and as soon as this 2 gets deleted, you have to delete this 5, 2 and 7, 2 also, because 2 has gone from A and has to be disappeared from C as well. Okay, but as soon as you disappear 5, 2, 7, 2, you also have to disappear all the values containing 5 and 7 in C. But 7 is not contained in C anywhere, therefore you have to consider just 5, and with this 5 you delete this 9, 5 also. Okay, as soon as you delete this 9 comma 5, you have to delete all the values containing 9 in C, but in 9C you don't have any 9 in it. Okay, therefore only these 3 tuples will be deleted and option C is correct. I hope it was clear. Ayush says thank you sir. Sir, thank you so much. बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो प्रोडक्ट. Thank you Ayush, but it's not that big a deal. Okay, so if you guys crack gate, then I can consider that someone is doing a good job. Good. So I think we should move to the next question. So if you guys still have doubts in this question, we can discuss a bit more, but I think it was clear to Deepak. Yeah, so if still you guys still have any doubts in this question, we can pick up, but if not, then we can move to the next question. Okay, we'll solve this question. This is somewhat confusing. When I was solving yesterday, there was some confusion, but there was a slight bit of assumption. The assumption is that the assumption was that this roll number acts as a foreign key to this table. Okay, so I don't know why, but wherever I saw the explanation, this was the assumption that they have taken. Okay, Harshvardhan says, sir, your explanation is awesome, and no matter what questions you are discussing, it will be great if our session is mixed new and previous asked questions, because I have seen previous year questions. It is not a compliment, just a request. Sure, Harshvardhan, from next class onwards, I'll try to mix up the questions. And I did got this request as well that instead of having just DBMS questions, I should just put in 1 or 2 questions from different subjects. But some students were not okay with that. But yeah, that thing I can do that. A lot of questions, what happens is these questions are very much popular questions, and a lot of students, like you, have already seen these questions. But what happens is, if I bring new questions also, right, the probability of those questions coming in GATE exam will be very less. So these questions are very much popular, and the popularity makes it very much important for these questions to reappear in the GATE exam. But yes, what I'll do is I'll keep new questions, try to find out and create new questions of my own from next Saturday. Yeah, I'll take that consideration. So what about this question, Harshvardhan? Just try to solve this question. Just give me an answer that what would happen if this is not a foreign key, and what would the answer if this is a foreign key? I want 2 answers now from you. I hope you guys are solving the question. क्योंकि हर एक रोल आईडी का मैप होना चाहिए स्टूडेंट से. ओके. And Deepak, what would happen if they are not a foreign key? If there is no foreign key constraint, what would happen in that case? फॉरेन की के केस में 8,8 एंड फॉरेन की नहीं के केस में 0,8. Correct. That is what I was searching yesterday on internet as well. But a lot of explanations were saying that even if this constraint is not there and that, but in this question constraint was not given, and yet the answer to this question is A here. D, without foreign key assumption. So D is never possible. I'll come on to that. First of all, we have done this. Yeah, min 0 and max it. So this is the explanation to this question, that even if you consider 1 to 20 should be distinct. Obviously they'll be distinct roll numbers because roll number is a primary key here, but you have also considered a distinct roll numbers in this case. In this case you'll get 8 and 8, and in this case also you'll get 8 and 8. Okay, where this roll number is same for all, but still your join will have 8 tuples. Now I have to take this Bhanu's thing, that Bhanu is saying that without foreign key assumption. No, Bhanu, your answer would have been correct if this would have been a join, but we are talking about natural join here. Okay, and when you are doing a natural join, you have to join them on the basis of roll number, and this will not be possible. Okay, try to think about it again, that in natural join this is not possible. I hope it's clear. So we'll move forward to the next question. This is also a slightly difficult problem, but you guys can solve. Okay, so Bhanu has given the answer C. C is not correct. Bhanu, don't just take your time, solve this question. This is a good question. I hope you guys are solving this question. D. In a query finds average salary of the employer. Yeah, correct. So Shweta is also here. Hi Shweta. Okay, so a lot of new people are here. Abhilaksh is also here. Hi Abhilaksh. Hi Shweta. Yeah, so D is correct here. I hope Bhanu you're getting why C is not correct. So what's happening here is you're saying here is that in the same department. Okay, whereas this is not a constraint when we are talking about the average salary here. So what is happening in the inner query is you're finding the salary of all the employees in the company and not the same department ones. Okay, so C is wrong because of that. So Shantanu has also given the right answer. So D is correct here. Okay Bhanu, that was more important for you to understand that why C is not correct and D is correct. You guys took your time but solve the question properly. Yeah, hi Shweta. So we'll move to the next question. Yeah, try solving this question. So this is a very popular question. I think this question is also found in your textbooks, but this is one of the questions that GATE picked up from textbooks itself. Last query इस सारे एम्प्लॉयज का एवरेज निकालेगा इरेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट और हैविंग डिपार्टमेंट की एवरेज सैलरी निकालेगा. करेक्ट. So Harshvardhan's explanation is up to the mark. I think we have some more time. We'll have one more question after this. Shweta is very quick in solving the questions, as you all know. I'll give 30 more seconds for other people to solve this question and then we can see whether everyone is comfortable with this question. Okay, I can see people have not solved this question yet. So we'll just start solving this question on a very brief note. So what happens is, whenever you're given a query, right, just break that query in small parts. Start with this. So what it is asking is to select you the name. So you have to select the name. Okay, first of all, from where? So there is a join of 3 different tables: students, course and grades. Okay, so this is very much straightforward. When I say course number is equals to course number, it's just a natural join condition. When I say grade equals to A, that means this student should have a grade A in what, that we'll see. And this student should have an instructor course, and this join is also a natural join condition where roll number and roll number are joined together. Okay, so yeah, A or C में confusion है, please discuss. So when I say, so what I have discussed till now is that condition 1 and condition 4 are useless because they are just giving you a natural join condition. Okay, so this is a natural join condition, and you are told that you have to find the name of the student who is taught by this instructor and who has got grade A. Okay, so in option B you don't have the instructor, therefore option B is totally wrong. But when we talk about option A says the names of the student who have got an A grade in all the courses. Okay, this has all the courses, and option C has at least one course. Okay, so just imagine, Deepak, there is no condition which is checking for all. Okay, just imagine a student who just got one A taught by course, that also will be included in this because you are having a join. Okay, so what you'll have is, for example, you'll have a Deepak, you'll have a Kaurth, and you'll have a A. Okay, similarly you will have Deepak, Kaurth and B. Now what will happen in this case is, you'll find the conditions, you'll see that grade is A, you'll see that Kaurth is there, so you'll pick this tuple. Okay, you will not pick the second tuple, you'll just pick one tuple. That is more than sufficient to select your name out of the query. Okay, so this option is not correct because of this. This option is correct. Even if one of the tuple has Deepak, Kaurth and A, it will be picked, and if all of them have, then also it will be picked, but in this case option C is more correct. Okay, I hope Deepak, it's clear why option C is correct here. So Shweta solved this question real quick, and Shantanu has not given the answer right now. So Deepak has got it. So we'll move to one more question. Yes, so this might be the last question that we discuss for today. Solve this question properly and then we can call it a day. So after this question I can take some general questions that you guys have. Oh sorry, yeah, Shantanu gave C, yeah, sorry. So I can see few more people joining. Solve this question. This is somewhat tricky. Option A, man. Shweta has given option A. So till everyone is solving the question, so Shweta, are you done with your whole GATE syllabus or is something left? Are you like fully prepared for GATE 2021? Shantanu is saying, no problem Shantanu, this might be wrong as well, just try to solve this on your own, there is no problem in that. Harshvardhan says option A. Sir, Harshvardhan, why option A itself? Why don't you need this condition that R should be non-empty as well? Why this condition is not necessary? Okay. So Shweta is saying some chapters are left. So what I would suggest, Shweta, I think you might be knowing as well. Just try to take 1 or 2 test series and start giving those tests from maybe November, mid-November or December beginning, and give them thoroughly. Like give 2, 3, or maybe 4 small tests a day, and start giving full-length tests from December itself. This will help you a lot, because solving a lot of questions will definitely give you a lot of momentum. Okay, yeah. So I'm waiting for Deepak's answer and Harshvardhan's answer, and then we can discuss that why these conditions are important. Sorry, Deepak's and Shantanu's answer. Yeah, so Shantanu says A. So what happens here is, we just need to know that why S should be non-empty. Okay, so whenever you have given an option to prove something, just take the negation of it and try to see why it's given. When you are said that S should be non-empty, just consider what happens when S is empty. As soon as you make this S as empty, okay, if this S is empty, then what would happen is you are trying to select something after taking a join of them, and as soon as you take a join of them, you will never get as same as R. Therefore this condition is very, very important with respect to this question. Okay, but what happened when R is empty? If R is empty, then you will obviously have the relation same as R. Therefore this condition is not important, because it is a by default condition. If R is empty, then it satisfies. Therefore R need not be empty in it. Okay, and this condition, obviously this was very straightforward question, from because you have a distinct here, and this distinct will take all the duplicate tuples, and whereas you want it same to be R. Okay, so Deepak wants me to discuss. We can discuss this. I have discussed most part of it. So what happens, what is happening here, Deepak? If S is empty here, then when you do R comma S, it will become empty here. Okay, whereas R was having some data, and now this select will give you an empty tuple. Okay, this select will give you a 5 here, but whereas you have a R here. Okay, therefore S cannot be empty. S has to have some values to make this R comma S operation valid. Okay, first condition. Second condition is, if second condition is that R need not has duplicate values. So if R has duplicate values, what would happen is those duplicate values will be shunted out because of this distinct here. Okay, so these values can be shunted out from this distinct here, and therefore you will not have the same values as R. I hope, Deepak, it's clear. Now Harshvardhan mentions that he needs some more questions. So you need some more questions today only, or you need some more questions on this topic? Because if the topic is concerned, then we'll discuss those questions on Saturday. But if you need more questions today itself, then we have to think about it. So what's your say, Harshvardhan, on this? Do you want more questions today only, or do you want more questions on this topic maybe on next Saturday? Oh my god. So we are already up with the time, but I still had some buffer questions, so we can take up this question. This last question is for Harshvardhan. This is a question gifted from Harshvardhan to all of you. Solve this question. But after this question, yes, there is some lagging, but now I have tried to look all ahead and try to be ahead of your comments. So after this question we will stop, and then we'll continue from next Saturday. Okay, so we're getting C options here. So Harshvardhan was the one who mentioned for the question, and now he's not solving. Harshvardhan, your answer, and then we can close. Okay, so it is a very straightforward question. You just had to put a false wherever you are doing a check. X equals to 5 will give you false, x equals to 5 will give you false, x not equals to 5 will give you false, x greater than equals to 4 will give you false, and x less than equals to give you false, and then you just had to check whether these conditions are satisfied or not. Okay, so that is it for today. I still have few more questions for Harshvardhan. If you want to have a glimpse, just have the glimpse. After this class is over, you can pause the video, solve these questions, but it won't be helpful because these questions will be solving in the next class. Okay, so if you want to solve these questions, I have given you a very small glimpse. You can pause the video and see those questions, but it will be helpful if you don't solve these questions and solve these questions on next Saturday. Okay, so I'm bounded by time. We are already over the time now. That is it for today. If you guys have any questions, I'll be here for next 2 minutes. If you have any questions, any general questions also, I'll take those questions. And talking of subscription, you can take the subscription if you are financially sound and you have not taken a proper course material, then you can go for a 12-month subscription. But financially sound only, then you go for this subscription. Okay, so you can take a 10% discount using my promo code, and that is it. If nothing else will be discussed, you guys can go study, take some rest, have some maybe breakfast if you don't have, and that's it. Any general questions? Yeah bro, ask. Thank you so much. Deepak, you can go ahead and ask. Shantanu, thank you so much for attending the class. थैंक यू सो मच हर्षवर्धन फॉर अटेंडिंग द क्लास. सर अगर MSQ में ABC ट्रू होगा और D में ऑल ऑफ द अबव होगा तो किसको मार्क करेंगे? ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा दीपक, ऐसा क्वेश्चन नहीं आएगा. अगर आएगा भी तो MCQ में आएगा, MSQ में नहीं आएगा. एंड इफ MSQ में आता है तो you will be given marks for marking A, B, C, D also, A, B, C also, and only D also. Okay, so these questions won't come. This belongs to a gray area. But if the question comes, then if you mark A, B, and C, then that's wrong. Okay, you have to mark A, B, C, and D also, or you have to mark D option only. Okay, just don't mark A, B, C because D option is also correct, right? Yeah. Thank you so much, Abhilaksh. Sir, can you suggest me how I can prepare for next 3-4 months? Yeah, I can take up that question also. So Deepak, I hope I have answered your question. Now I'll pick Shweta's question. So Shweta, for example, we are in October, right? Try to finish off all your theory part by October. Whatever theory part is left, try to finish off till October. Then from November will be your revision month. Okay, November will be your revision month. Now how you have to do is make a schedule, make just a round robin schedule of all the subjects. For example, give numbering to OS as 1, compiler as 2, or randomly give the numbers and start from OS, or start from the first number. Okay, for example, you have OS, so that day you just have to practice questions on OS. Take a test series, you will have a subject test, you will have small tests of topic wise subjects. So on that particular day, for example 1 day or 2 days, solve those questions on OS only. Okay, so now you're not just practicing, you are also revising. On that 2 days, what you have to do is you have to solve those questions and see whether you are having some difficulty in a proper topic or not, and try to figure out that topic on that day itself. So what would happen is in November, I think if you go very slowly also, okay, then also you will have 2 complete cycles of revision. Okay, in 15 days you can easily cover 8 subjects. I am just excluding aptitude, English and maths also. Okay, 8 subjects can be easily done in the first revision, can be done in maybe 18 or 16 or 18 days, and then second revision can be done in 12 days. Your November is over, and now from December onwards, just try to give as many tests as possible. Now that won't come into revision, that will come into practice, and that will come into a real life tests. Okay, when you are giving tests in October, that is not that you can give very non-seriously as well. When I say non-seriously, without considering time. Okay, in October your aim will be to increase your accuracy, and in December you will come back to your speed and accuracy. And talking about January, you just have to give full length tests. I would suggest you giving start first 1 full length test in the first 15 days, and then 2 full length tests in the second half of the January, and then finally ending up giving 2 to 3 full length tests when you are close to your GATE exam. I think that is very much easy, what should I say, the path of getting a double digit rank or even a single digit rank. So this is what you should follow, and I think it will give you all the success that is possible. So I hope that answers your question also. So that will be it for today. If you guys have any questions, any important questions, you can always ping me on LinkedIn, and you can ask these questions on Saturdays and Sundays. I'll try to answer them as briefly as possible. Thank you so much, Shweta, for attending the class. Thank you everyone for attending the class. Okay, so Harshvardhan has a question. Sir, I did not touch CO and DE till now. For other subjects, I have made notes and I'm sure I'll complete them by October. Yeah, sure, Harshvardhan. Like Shweta has completed it very quickly. In my case also, I completed my syllabus by end of November. So you can keep that deadline to be a firm deadline. Try to finish everything by November end. By theory, I mean the theory part you can do by November end. And what I suggested to Shweta for month of October, for month of November, you can follow that in December, and January will be your test series. Okay, Shweta just has 1 extra month that she wants to use. But for CO, can I refer online notes? Oh, that is a difficult question. For so notes, what I prefer is keep as small as possible. Okay, try to keep it as small as possible, and if you don't have time, just you can obviously refer to online notes. That's not an issue. Okay, yeah, that's it. So thank you so much, guys. Any other questions? I can take up those questions as well, but we are above 10 minutes now and I have to close this class. You guys can ping me on LinkedIn if you have some urgent questions. If not, then we can obviously meet on Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harshvardhan, for attending the class.